Hey, everybody, this is Emar Substitute, the Sports Inquirer, and we're happy to be joined by Kennedy Cowden from the Georgia Tech softball team. Kennedy, thanks for waking up early before the team heads down to Gainesville. Before we get to just some specifics, how does it feel to be part of a team that has put the Yellow Jackets back in the NCAA tournament for the first time in nearly 10 years?
It's absolutely awesome. This is what we've been preparing for all season long, and we've finally reached the goal that we've been wanting to reach. So it feels amazing.
Yeah, what was that like? I saw the video of the team in just one of your conference rooms or your practice facility, or just gathered together and seeing your name on the board. What was that like? Because you never know it. You didn't win the conference tournament, so it's not a guaranteed spot. What was that day like, and seeing that announcement come up and see Georgia Tech on there?
It was a little nerve-wracking for me just because, I'm a senior, so like if you don't get in, then my season's over. But we had a really high RPI and we worked really hard to get us in a good position going into that day. So as I say, it was nerve-wracking. It really wasn't, because we knew we were going to get in. We knew we prepared for it and we had worked hard, and that we were just waiting on our name to be called, which that was the nervous part. But it was an awesome feeling when it was called and we were ready to celebrate. And I think we did the best.
Yeah, you did have a nice celebration. But what's that like for a program that has won conference championships before, been in the tournament before in the past, but over the past 5 to 10 years, not been able to get to that level? What's that like for you and your teammates and the coaching staff to get the team back in the NCAA tournament, really, for the first time in, say, 10 years?
It's an awesome achievement. It's really big for our program and for women's sports here at Georgia Tech. Every other women's sports here in Georgia Tech this year had made it to postseason. So it was really cool that we got to join in this year and continue just to make women's sports great at Georgia Tech. So that was just awesome for our program overall. We've really been working hard to get back there.
Yeah, and you had a big performance at the ACC tournament. 2 home runs, hit over 500 for the event. 2 home runs, doubled your total through the entire year.
Yeah.
What was it like being down there and just in the tournament, up in Pittsburgh? Did you have a feeling going into it that you were swinging the bat well and that you could be a big contributor?
Yeah, I had been swinging the bat well at practice that week, and just lately I had just been a lot more comfortable in the box than I was at the beginning of the year. So that was a good feeling going into the weekend. But everyone else on the team also had been looking great in the box. So we knew that we were going to be able to produce some runs when we got to Pittsburgh and do some damage hitting wise. And, I know we fell short in the Duke game, but we still did a great job, and we put up 6 runs on pitchers that had sub 2 ERAs. So it's a great feeling knowing that we do have a strong hitting lineup going into regionals as well as pitching.
How beneficial will that be, being in a tournament atmosphere, playing NC State and facing Duke, being in a neutral field in that environment, preparing for the Gainesville Regional?
It was really fun to play in that atmosphere. You got to go up against teams that you've already faced. Some teams you've already won, some teams beat you. So it's fun to get to face them again in that type of atmosphere. You got a lot of fans there, and you're playing for something bigger than yourself at that point. So it's really fun, and I think it really prepared us well for us to go into this regional.
Yeah, speaking of the regional, how do you prepare for it? I mean, obviously Florida is the host, but you have Wisconsin, some other opponents that you can face off with, double elimination. So you never know. Your first matchup, what time that is, but beyond that, you don't know. How do you prepare for this type of tournament, this double elimination, and getting ready for it? Because it is unique compared to just your typical weekend series or midweek single contest.
Yeah, honestly, we prepare just like we do for anyone else. We go out every day and we still do the practice that we need that's going to make us get better. And we really just take it one day at a time. I mean, we're only guaranteed 2 games going into this. So we're going to prepare for Wisconsin first. And when we take that win, then we'll move on to the next team that we have to face. So it's really just staying present with the one team that we need to beat first to move on. And then we'll handle the next teams then.
Yeah, what about your journey personally? Just doing my research, I saw you're from the state of Tennessee. You started collegiately at Kentucky, and you transferred in after your freshman year to Georgia Tech, but it was the COVID year that got shortened. What's this path been like for you personally? You mentioned being a senior, probably last opportunity to play collegiate softball. What's it been like the past few years for you having to transition from all the different places that you've been?
It's definitely been a struggle. Moving to Kentucky after, living in Tennessee my entire life. I was really excited for it. I wanted to move away from home and experience something new. So that was exciting. But it was not the right fit for me. I struggled mentally really hard my freshman year and just decided that that was not a place that I was going to be happy at. And so I entered the transfer portal, and Coach Morales reached out to me, and kind of immediately once I went on my visit, I knew that this was somewhere that I would enjoy myself and want to be. So I trusted her and I came, and it's been an amazing experience. The COVID year was pretty awful in a sense that, I didn't really play a lot my freshman year. So I was really excited to get playing time sophomore year. And then after, just a couple of weeks that it was shut down. So that was upsetting, but I mean, it is what it is, and it was best for the world at the time. So I understand that, but I'm just really happy that I've had the last 2 years to play here. It's been a really big blessing.
Yeah, and what's it been like playing an ACC competition? Obviously, you played in Kentucky in the SEC. They're obviously a very strong program, and Georgia Tech is as well. But what's it been like playing these set of opponents in this part of the country in comparison to when we're in Kentucky? Is there a difference? Is it the same?
I look at it all the same. It's just a jersey. It's just the name on the jersey. To me, it's no difference. I know that recently in years, you've probably always heard like the SEC is more competitive, but I just think that's false. I mean, if you look at the ACC this year, you have a ton of teams ranked in top 25, and you had 2 teams ranked in the top 3 of the nation. So I think the ACC is a huge competitive bracket, and it's continuing to grow. So, whether you go to the SEC, the ACC, the Big Ten, whatever it is, you're going to be playing girls with a ton of talent, and it's huge competition. So it's really fun either way. I love that I get to experience both playing in the SEC and the ACC. But yeah, in the end, it's just a name on the jersey. So it doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah, and then what about this weekend? Do you have friends and family coming from Tennessee? Obviously, I'm sure they're familiar with Gainesville, being a SEC team. Is that going to be a big crowd? Have you been hearing from a lot of people from not only from your hometown, but just former teammates or coaches about being in the NCAA tournament? What will this weekend be like for you personally?
So I actually have never played in Gainesville. We didn't go to Florida my freshman year. So this is new to me. So I'm really excited about that. I've always wanted to play down there. Yeah, my parents will be there. My teammates' parents will be there. We always bring a big crowd, and they always have a lot of fun. So it's really exciting when we get to look up in the crowd and see our parents having so much fun. That it really gets us going, and it just makes us know that, like, no matter what, our parents are always there to support us. So it's really fun to play in front of them and play for our coaches, and it's just always a great time on the field.
Have you been hearing from a lot of former teammates or just people in general from just have the message you online or on your phone just since the announcement's been made? Because this is a big moment for the program and for yourself.
Yeah, we've received a ton of support. I've had a ton of people reach out to me just saying, like, congratulations, this is awesome. So I don't really know who all might show up, but we have received a ton of support from a distance. So it's been a great feeling.
All right, Kennedy, I appreciate the time. Thank you. Safe travels to Gainesville, and we'll be following the entire tournament.
Thank you so much.